Hello. Welcome to my living room. Playing a little bit of EA Sports. All right, I'm not gonna make any long introductions, but I will introduce.
Hello.
Avad.
IX.
Jan Mumrik. Kindly agreed to join me on commentary.
We're more moral support than anything else.
And what was credits again? We're playing in Japanese. There was a bid war. So in this game, the way you start is you actually load a certain file. All right. Here we go. So this is the 9th and final installment in the Ultima, the mainline Ultima franchise.
目を覚ませ。ガーディアンがブリタニアに侵攻した。
Pretty epic,
裸
huh?
では外に出るわけにはいかない。バスルームに服が
Before we can leave our house, we have to grab a few things.
もう一つのドアが
And
バスルーム
better remember to
だ。周囲を見たいときは
make
物を
my
使うときは
special bread.
カーソルを使う。使いたいものに十分
So this is for the incentive, which there's still
使えるもの
3 minutes or so
カ
left.
ーソルは緑
Get
色
to
に変化する。
Incentive.
そ
Kill
の
Lord
状
British.
態で左マウスボタンをクリックするのだ。ブリタニアに旅立つ前に
Alright, so this is the any percent category, which means we actually get to use a special developer room. Okay. Time for backup. That's a little brick that can save like 5 seconds, or save half a second and lose 5 seconds like it did. So there's like a secret Eva push. We get to equip this nice armor and go straight to the first dungeon. So I can no longer. Okay. Audio's sort of cutting out in my headset a little bit.
Yeah, for me too. But
Okay.
I think
So I went out of bounds here. You know, in games normally, when you move from one level to another, it's done quite seamlessly, and they also tried to do that here. Oops. Play. Get a little cutscene, producing the puzzle. Solve. Good physics puzzle.
Wanna just a quick shout out to how amazing the controls are in this game.
Yeah. Oops. Little nervous?
There we go.
Yeah. So whenever you move from one level to another, if you sort of jump into a wall, it'll just throw you out of bounds. And I think a lot of people who've played this game casually might just have had that happen randomly. Which is quite useful. Oh, and I should say, there's a quite good likelihood that the game will crash at some point. So okay. So if the game crashes, and I might die here. Ooh. If the game crashes, I'll donate $25 for each crash. And actually, I should already have saved. Please remind me to save.
save.
Because that guy, he could have killed me, and then we would have to start over. Okay. So quite convenient, like in Archangel that Jan ran earlier in the marathon. Good to have a hole in the ceiling that you can jump through. All right. So some of the other dungeons, they've actually conveniently made a teleport out, as you would normally do. Modern game design, I guess. But here we have to backtrack all the way through the dungeon. But we have to do a little bit more of the dungeon inbounds going out. And the reason why I'm jumping everywhere is because this fancy armor that I got to equip in the developer room, it has these very nice trousers that let you jump further. Once you have them equipped, jumping becomes the fastest movement option. So the way you move throughout most of the game is just hold spacebar and point the mouse correctly.
The jumping in this game is quite interesting since you go directly to where
Yeah,
you're pointing to. It's really
exactly.
weird. Yeah, you wouldn't really think of it, and even when you play, I've actually played this game, and you forget it all the time that that's like the.
Okay, good place to save here. Is I can
Yeah, in
accidentally
case-
go out of
yeah.
bounds here. That happened a few times in practice. And up here, I'm going to do a journal jump to skip a cutscene trigger here. Basically, just jump into a trigger and then open and close the pause menu, the journal. And that'll let you bypass any triggers. Quite useful. And in a previous route for this game, it was also used to swim across deep waters, as it would give a few invincibility frames every time you open and close the journal. But now we have much better ways of doing that. For some reason, sometimes he just stops jumping. I don't know if it's me not holding spacebar, probably, or if it's the game.
That's easy to just blame the game, I think. Yeah.
I would like to see someone else run it, because then I could see. All right. So these rats can be kind of annoying. RNG. If they attack me, I will stop jumping. So coming up, I'm gonna attempt a cutscene skip. There's like a 30-second cutscene, and if you manipulate the draw distance, this, a few more times, then you can activate the cutscene while that troll speaks to us. So let's see if I get it. Okay, I didn't get it.
Unlucky.
But at least we get to listen to some more good Japanese
Yeah.
voice acting. I don't think I've heard this one in Japanese. Okay, it was worth it. So this is the mayor of Brisbane. So the storyline in this game is that the Guardian has corrupted all the virtues of the land by erecting these dangerous columns throughout. So normally, like, each land have their special virtue, and Britain's virtue is compassion. And since that has been corrupted, everyone is acting very non-compassionate. So this mayor has been sending all the poor and sick people off to this swamp town called Paws. So we're going to try and make him see the error of his ways by saving his daughter from some goblins in here. I'm going to save while I remember. Okay, we only have to actually kill the leader, the big guy here. And if we manage to get far enough away from the building on a certain timer, skip the daughter thanking us for saving her. I think we should be good. Yep. So we get the sound effect from completing a mission, but no dialogue. Alright, so now we have the first of the 8 sigils that we need to defeat the Guardian, the blue heart. The heart of compassion, actually. And, I mean, if anyone is feeling compassionate, you can donate to Alzheimer's Fund. Is that a good segue?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Doing my job for me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and here Sid opens the backpack, which deactivates some enemies' AI,
It's the little
or
bit
they at
inconsistent,
least they at least won't attack you anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, it's actually not even like a glitch per se, because it was programmed in intentionally. If you go back and read the patch notes from some of the patches early on, they actually say this was intentional. I think the thing that they didn't realize is that in combination with being able to move while the backpack is open, is quite easy to exploit. But certain enemies just ignore it completely. Like the rats will still attack you, and sea monsters, which we will meet later on, will still get in your way. Yeah, see, the rat still aggroes. All right, we're in like a pretty relaxing part of the run. So if you have any poetry or if there's any messages to read.
Donations?
I can start with a donation and maybe
Yep.
segue into some poetry just after that. We've had a $10 donation come in from Sui Machine, who says, "At this very moment, Britannia burns." Thank you, Sui Machine. I also just want to mention a couple of the incentives that we have running at the moment. So over on stream 2, we've just opened a new incentive to unlock a bonus game called Sonic 3D in 2D. That'll be coming up later on stream 2, and we are just $500 away from unlocking that new bonus game.
So this guy can actually one-shot me if I didn't have the backpack open. But he's quite slow. Nice sliding sound effect. Oh. Yeah, so you can see how slow swimming is. You generally want to avoid it as much as possible. Alright, so the next virtue that we're gonna try to... Oop. The next area here, there's a big sequence where our pirate friend gets framed for destroying the gargoyle race. Which actually we kind of did. But we weren't trying to. Just was an accident. Okay. So that's you're not supposed to be able to carry chairs, but you'll see later on it's quite useful to be able to do so. So whenever you unequip a sword in this game, you can basically wield any object like it was a sword. And here we're going to set up a permanent invincibility glitch, which I can imagine would be quite useful.
You didn't use the potion, right?
Oh, good catch. Okay, my...
5?
Okay, I have a keyboard without F keys. That's going to be interesting. Okay, I'm for safety reasons, I'm just going to load here again. So, in this game, getting invincibility is as simple as drinking a potion that's supposed to make you invincible for like 10 seconds, and then save loading. Okay, this is turning into a challenge run now.
And then we'll see how many times it crashes.
So you can actually glitch wield 2 items at once. And we're also wearing a barrel. So you can glitch wield both a sword in the hand, and you can wield it from the slot to hold it on your back. Yeah. See, once again, you just stop jumping.
It's the game's fault. Here.
Let's just pretend. Yeah? So as you may have noticed, like you can get these little slide-offs on small ledges. That's a nice sliding sound effect.
Oh
Kind
my
of loud.
god. Hello there.
There's going to be a few weirdly mastered sound effects throughout the game. I will try and warn you. Okay, we're having a new keyboard problem. Okay, that's the... where?
It's fine.
It's fine.
The co-op run now.
I submitted a quite large estimate, so should be good. Okay, so now it should work, I guess.
2 keyboards.
Yeah.
Hey!
Nice. Shout out to tech. I mean,
Thank you, Sajiki. Thank you. You?
oh, it was Sajiki?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so some good dialogue coming up.
You might have had the co-conspirators, but
So if you had not too many people donated for the language bid war, but I'll still try and listen to some of the good lines. Like there's one mandatory line that we also listened to in my 2019 run. Played the game or know anything about it, you might have a clue as to what line it is. But we'll get to that. Okay, here we come up to the aforementioned sea monsters. control very much. Might see why. So I'm just trying to get a little jump off there. Any amount you can cut down on swimming in this game. So yeah, they like to just get in front of you and block your way. But luckily the invincibility glitch did work, so as you can see, even though my oxygen meter at the top is fully depleted, I'm not dying. Alright. So coming up, I'm going to use a spell scroll that I picked up in the previous place I was in. You'll see it's quite useful. It's not supposed to let you... It's also loud, sorry I forgot to warn. So for some reason, when you use the spell, the next jump you input lets you jump through walls. But strangely enough, in the new route, we found out that it's not actually faster to... So that's the barrel. We found out that it's actually faster, even though you can get 2 more copies of the spell to forgo picking those up. Rolled a little bit here. See, this also happened in practice. Alright, we get the good sound effect.
No, no.
It's sort of random as to where the sound plays.
I'm speechless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can you really say?
Yes, lol.
Alright, so now from that wagon we picked up the Tear of Sacrifice. So we actually have 3 of the sigils now. We got the Quill of Justice from the big vulture guy that we answered some questions. He actually quizzes you about whether so-and-so thing is just or not. He asks like if a wolf kills some sheep, is it just to take vengeance and kill the wolf? You have to say no to each question. And then later in the game, you actually have to kill some wolves to protect sheep. So sort of go back on. Alright, so these are like the shrines that you would normally cleanse to restore justice to the land. And we will actually cleanse a couple of them, and that's because there's a new trick found by my good friend on YouTube, Cast Chaos, which allows us to duplicate sigils whenever we cleanse one of these. But it's not as OP as it could sound, since you can only cleanse each sigil exactly once. So you go through this ritual, and I inputted the wrong mantra. Then I went far enough away for it to deload, and then I dragged this onto myself. Then I input the right mantra, Moo. And so now it's doing the thing, and I already put the sigil in my backpack, so it's just going to spawn a new one. And yeah.
Oh.
This is a little bit loud.
Yeah.
Slightly.
A little bit.
And actually I should have saved before this.
Ah.
Okay. I think we're good. Yep. No soft lock. But okay, we got that other glitch. Interesting. See, this can happen. This actually never happens on my computer. I think it's hardware dependent. Okay, that might be a challenge. This
Maybe if you stand on the altar?
I'm gonna use the bread. Oh, by the way, I didn't ask if we met the incentive, but I guess we didn't. At least I went far enough away. Okay, so here probably a safety thing. Oh, we're gonna just do this. I had to do it in my last run as well. Okay, little cheating there, but
No, that's the normal.
it's the game's fault. I mean,
It's
what
the
can you
normal
do?
game mechanic. It's the things.
I've always heard from people that happens, but it's never happened to me. Okay, so coming up, we have quite a long swim. So if there's any donations,
Absolutely. We've had a $6.90 donation from Speedy Eris, who is sat behind you in the third row, who says, "Good morning, Sid. Remember, Archangel used all the luck."
yeah, it kind of seems like it. Huh?
Funny enough, Archangel also seems to have some hardware-dependent stuff where items spawn higher up.
Oh my god!
And I remember the Star Wars Jedi Academy also had some like weird.
Oh yeah. That's normal.
Yeah, this is a quick classic.
So normally in the game, the way you would actually progress is you have to cleanse those shrines, and then you unlock new destinations that the ship will. You have like a pirate friend who later becomes a romantic interest, and she will sail you to new areas of the map whenever you cleanse a shrine. But we have our own ways of traversing the land. And we're coming up to the first place where the game is most likely going to crash. So better get some saves in while I can. And this is the area is called Moonglow. Their virtue is truth. And so since the virtue has been corrupted, they're all going around lying. Cloud effects.
It has to be said though, I don't remember when this came out, 1999 or but for how big like of an open world it has and like everything in it, it's actually quite impressive. So it's almost sad that this isn't known by everyone. It's a pretty insane game.
Alright, so she gives us a quest to steal a magical shield for her. Gonna go straight here and do that. But first, let's just wear a barrel again. And this is where the game is most likely gonna crash. See? Hey!
Hey!
$25. Don't worry, I can cover. There's been a $20 donation come in from Beliar, who has donated to the Plum cosplay for Chenso Club all areas. We are just under $500 away from meeting that incentive for the Plum cosplay. So keep your donations coming in.
Alright, so what I did there was just like, there's a magic barrier, you're supposed to do a small puzzle to open it, but instead you can just like turn your back to the barrier and the camera will go through, and so you can grab the item you need. And now coming up, I'm gonna set up for like probably the most complicated glitch in the game, and I don't fully know exactly how it works. But we need this barrel here, because there's a teleporter that's going to take us into this vicinity. And we need the barrel to block the destination, basically. So first, I'm jumping onto this flask, which delays the teleporter, and then I'm like activating it as I jump out the window, and then I...
Didn't get
Okay, it actually worked, yeah. I'm not exactly sure where I ended up, but I got it first try, so that's good.
It actually reminds me so much of
It can take you to many
Oblivion.
different locations. What does it remind you of?
The glitch in Oblivion, saddles.
Aha.
It's so similar. It's scary similar.
Lucky that
So
we
it's sort of-
didn't end up in the middle of the ocean, at least.
Yeah. It always takes you out of on the same sort of trajectory, but how far it takes you varies greatly. And it seems like I'm probably going the wrong way around this island, but that's fine. Okay, we don't need that item. So with that, I actually made up a little bit of the time I lost. There's also a safer setup where you don't go as far, but I sort of got inspired watching runs earlier in the week to go for more risky strats. I guess it paid off. So physics is also an interesting thing in this game, because you can sort of jump on most items, climb over stuff. Oh, give that another go. I usually actually use the flask rather than the shield. Oh.
Yeah, you can tell how
Let's
far
go
he
a bit
slides
beside
down when he slides off, like how far he slides. So you can tell that the game actually doesn't want you to climb mountains like this. It's just the way these setups work that make it possible.
So normally you have to do a long quest where you have to kill a dragon to get the people here to open the gate for you. And of course we're invincible, so we can dive into the lava. And here I'm gonna just increase the draw distance a little bit so I can see this dagger. So that's actually a copy of the Dagger of Valor that's supposed to be used in a cutscene. But luckily you can also pick it up.
In the lava.
Yeah.
Of course.
And if you activate the cutscene now, which we're not going to do, because it's quite long, but the cutscene will play out without the dagger. Basically what's supposed to happen is one of the knights here is supposed to give the dagger to one of the demons in hopes that they'll leave the citizens of this place alone. But the demon, being treacherous, stabs the knight with the dagger. But since we've taken the dagger, what would happen is he just sort of falcon punches him. And yeah, I glitch equipped another chair because we're gonna use it coming up to clip through a wall. So if you've been keeping count, we've actually picked up, I believe, 6 sigils, so we have 2 to go before the final encounter with the Guardian. And it's actually going to be 2 of the same ones, so we're going to use the duplication trick again. And here we're going to find an item, the Glyph of Honor, which usually you have to go into a dungeon to get, but there's also just an extra copy, like, floating randomly at that column. Rather convenient. I'll just open the backpack in order not to get rolled by these guys. Sometimes that guy can like go all the way over and block the entrance. You have to actually kill him. So before we had the invincibility trick, this arrow was always like 50-50 if it ended your run, because sometimes it'll just kill you, but that's not a problem anymore. I'm gonna use this glyph as a jump assist. Now we're gonna try and this chair strat. Okay, I should say. That's not gonna work. So what I'm trying to do is activate this teleporter through the statue and then sit on the chair right away. And that is gonna conveniently get me out of that glass box. And now I'm actually gonna shut up for a little bit because I'm on a 30-second timer. Not that it's too hard to make the timer, but It is a 30-second time loss if I... Yeah, I have to not touch a cutscene trigger. Grab chalice, yeah. And just wait. Time now. So it's kind of convenient that the glass cage, or what you call it, glass box, doesn't ask for the password until 30 seconds, because it gives me just enough time to actually complete the thing I need to do there. Save. Those hellhounds are like much, their hitbox is much bigger than they actually look. Quite skinny. So the thing I picked up in the cave was not the Chalice of Honor, but it will become the Chalice of Honor. So Trinsic, the land of the Paladins, has lost their honor. And there's a cutscene that we skipped where one of the main villains of the game, Lord Blackthorn, actually destroys the Chalice. But luckily we can infuse this regular Chalice with honor. To do that, we have to do some honorable deeds, which will involve spawning a spider boss, but we don't actually have to even spawn the boss. We just have to... Yeah, that's the drunk guy. So fun fact about the Japanese dub of this game is that the voice of the Avatar, which we haven't heard much so far, but we will hear in a little bit, is actually voiced by the same guy who did the voice for Solid Snake. But I've heard that's sometimes the case with Japanese games, that even like relatively obscure titles get quite well-known voice actors. So you can get like a jump off this ledge in the middle of the dialogue. All right, here's the mandatory cutscene that we have to listen to.
Yeah.
And before we do that, we have to turn on the avatar's voice. I think this is them.
Yeah.
And where did you go?
Oh.
どうだい調子は。この辺りのパラディンで知らない顔はないと思ってたがな。なんか作るのかい？それとも買い物に来てくれたのかい？
And I think it's this option.
パラディンとは
Paladin toi.
Paladin toi?
Okay, I think we have to hear that once more. Just to be sure.
パラディンとは
Paladin toi? Paladin toi. Okay.
Paladin toi.
すいません
All right. For all the memesters out there, I hope you got your fill, because we're gonna continue.
Are we gonna explain that to the people that don't know?
So, basically, Ultima is a long series of games, and this certain line where the avatar, himself a paladin, asks, "What's a paladin?" has been singled out by a lot of fans as a bit ridiculous. And also in one of the previous installments, one of the Avatar's good friends, Sir Dupre, died in a very, very macabre way, sacrificing himself honorably. And it just seems like the Avatar's forgotten all about that. So that's the sound effect of the quest completing that lets us transform the chalice here. So I actually only found out about that like a month ago, that you don't have to fight the spider boss. You don't even have to be there to spawn it. You can just sort of witness the two other knights going into battle, and then they take care of everything for us.
Yeah. Valor. And honor or whatever.
This is honor.
Yeah.
I'm not fully sure what the difference is.
Yeah.
They are different.
Yeah, but you're very, very, very honorsome to just run away from battle, leaving your
Yeah.
friends to do it for you.
Honorably giving them credit. A good time for donations soon?
Yeah,
or?
sure.
Thank you very much. We've had a $5 donation coming from MGLN172, who just says, thanks, Tech, XXPLS. We've had a $19 donation coming from Zet, who says, loving these cozy morning runs. This is quite the ascent. Putting this towards the Plum cosplay, so it is less than $500 away from being met. Let's get it done, everyone. And a $25 donation coming from Andy134, who says, good luck from Aarhus, Sid. Tell us about fighting giant rats.
Fighting giant rats. I'm not exactly sure what he's referring to, but it's my good friend from my hometown. So let's see if I can remember the mantra. Sum. Okay, sound effect, loud. Have I been saving?
Yeah. I mean, maybe not.
So whenever you cleanse these shrines, you get to level up some of your stats.
Up in the sky again?
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Doesn't
Okay.
seem that far up, at least.
Using the flying glitch again.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
I also activated run fast. Okay.
the run faster glitch. That would be useful. Like, why can't we use that?
That's a special category.
Oh, I see.
All right, so now we have all the sigils, and it's quite lucky that the game actually lets us use the same one several times. Because it just allows for many more different types of routes. So we're actually quite close to the Guardian's palace. Just have to swim across some water. And I was just thinking they should implement the compass here in GeoGuessr, so that would be quite nice. Then I would probably be better at the game.
Yeah, I'm sure that could be arranged.
I mean, at least install a plugin or something
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah. The Ultima IX compass DLC.
Yeah, so actually here I only have the compass to go by because the island is so far away that I can't see it from here. We're getting good sound effect RNG.
Yeah. Don't know if I would call it good. I mean, I guess it's good.
The beat has dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyone have anything they want to shout out?
This game.
Uh,
Well, we have a donation.
We
Oh,
do.
excellent.
I'll shout the donation out. I can cover for you. Don't worry.
Thank you.
We've had a $10 donation in from Todd's Telemedian, one of our previous runners, who said $10 for the Skyrim crash. Lucky the game didn't crash more often, so I can still afford my ride home. Yay! Thanks to ESA for having me, and everyone who got up early to watch my run. No, thank you, Todd, for your run.
It looks like it's becoming like a common thing that people play games that crash and donate.
yeah. The wage.
I mean, it makes sense.
It accounts for roughly 80% of our donations.
All right, so we're going to hear the Guardian's laughter. The French one is actually kind of strangely normal.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Like
What does that mean?
I mean, because the Guardian's voice is really weird. It has like this really bass, deep voice. I think the Guardian in all languages is one of the best voice actors. For some reason in French, he sort of laughs like just a normal human. All right, we have quite a long cutscene coming up. So this is what you donated for, language choice, I guess, and a lot of loud sound effects. If we played the game in the proper way, we'd actually met this guy earlier, obviously.
ようアバタールよく来てくれ
Yeah.
お前とお前の仲間たちはこれから私の仕事の邪魔をした罰
アバタール、娘に伝えてくれ。愛していると。
愛してる。
娘だって。
娘?
So he's like asking us to tell his daughter that he loves her,
yeah.
but we haven't met her.
Avatar is just like, who?
Okay.
I'll let her know if I meet her.
What does she look like?
She's the pirate who's supposed to
but
sail
like-
us around.
Yeah, but how does the Avatar know she's gonna have...
しかし私は。
And here, I think that's actually the dub that's not perfect. There was a little overlap in the voices. They didn't actually change the timing of any of the dialogue for the language patches. So sometimes it's a little poorly timed. So here we have to actually lose all our HP. And it's kind of lucky that the game lets us lose HP even though we have an invincibility glitch activated. But basically the storyline goes that the Avatar and the Guardian are sort of like mirror entities. He's like the evil version of us. So whenever we attack him, we take damage ourselves.
我らが気はよせアバタール私は傷一つつかむ無敵なのだ私に盾つくことがいかにも意味か
This encounter is actually supposed to happen like about halfway through the game.
なぜそうあがく
But since we have to encounter the Guardian twice, it's just a lot faster to do both encounters at the end.
スカラブレがいい例だ私の柱の影響を
Yeah, I remember playing this, when we played this, to find stuff in it. I got to this part and like, oh, is it over already? Thank the heavens, and then no. That's about halfway or something. And then I got to the mermaid or whatever.
So the Guardian's actually supposed to show us a cinematic in this magic mirror, but we play the game with the cinematics folder conveniently removed because cinematics can crash the game quite often.
お前は間違っているお前は勝たない勝てないのだ
Alright. I can place one of the items now, but I'm just going to play it safe and not do it. So he teleports us out, and yeah, normally you would have to do quite a few quests before you can return. But we're just going to go straight back. So that's one discovery in this game still waiting to be found, a way to actually defeat the Guardian on the first encounter. That would be pretty epic. Oh, we haven't had too many crashes.
No,
You
one.
said it now.
True.
It can still happen, yeah. I guess I might add a little bit to my donation because of the weird item floating in the ceiling, in the air glitch. Oh. Came out of nowhere. Okay, maybe I should kill that guy. So funnily enough, the sound that the Avatar makes when he swings his sword and like kills enemies hasn't actually been changed. And I don't know if this is because of the slightly unconventional way that we had to make the other languages work. And that reminds me, by the way, shout outs to Sui, who is part of the reason why we're able to run in Japanese. Because to begin with, I could make the sound work, but all the text was showing as question marks. So it actually required editing of the exe file. All right, the very, very loud sound effect is coming up, so you're warned. All right, now we have to speak a long mantra. Hopefully I did that right. It's always stressful when you're on like world record pace and you get to the end of a run and you have to like type accurately.
Yeah, write a book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here comes the Guardian again. Like he's supposed to have left, but because we returned without doing other stuff, he basically teleports from one end of the room to the other.
すれば必ずお前に帰るのだぞ。お前と私は一つなのだ。我々は一心同体なのだぞ。違うのは私の方が強いということだけだ。主導権は私にある。お前など不要の存在なのだ。ブリタニアのすべてを。いや、この世のあらゆるものは私の意のままに動き。
So these are the shards of the portal he entered through. For some reason, we need them. And basically we have to place the 3 shards here, and then we speak the final words of Armageddon, and we ascend. And possibly the game crashes. But I think the rules are if the game crashes as the end cinematic is loading, that should count as having beaten the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there more inputs after?
No.
No, yeah. Last input.
Well, basically, I think the normal timing method is when the game freezes to play the cinematic.
こうしている間も今話した通りお前の柱は清められてる。腐敗ではなく徳を広めるためのものに変化して。
So that's the Solid Snake voice actor. And apparently he actually met his future wife on while making this game. I'm not sure if that's true, but they did get married. So yeah, the Guardian was trying to make the moons collide and like destroy everything.
月は衝突しなかった。月は元の軌道に戻ったよ。よく見ろガーディアン。
Guardian.
Guardian.
我々は反転させたんだよ。
バカな。たらめをするな。目を少しだけ先を消したに過ぎん。
Come on. Should be right. And time. And that's another $25.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Issei, for inviting me back after my interesting run in 2019 that went way above estimate. Looks like we made it this time. And yeah, thanks. Shout outs to the Ultima IX speedrunning community. We have a pretty small community, but everyone is very, very nice and like supportive even of the Ultima games that they don't run themselves. Shout outs to the Ultima Dragons, the Ultima community that's been going strong since like the early 80s. Yeah, and that's it from me. Thank you to my lovely co-commentators. And yeah. Can't wait to look forward to watching some more runs.
Thank you very much, Sid, for that fantastic run. I've got a few donations that I want to read out that are relevant to you. So we've had a $10 donation come in from Sui Machine, who just says, betrayal! Sorry for an old meme.
Well, I didn't betray him. I actually managed to shout him out like right before the run ended.
Very good. We have a $10 donation from Strife the Historian, who says, hey Sid, hey Havard, hey Jan, it's nice that the city decided to pay me early so I could do one more donation for the officially best run in the marathon. I believe in you all. I'll see you at ESA Summer 2023. And we're going to close off this stream now with a reading from a $5 donation from Henny, who says, Sid's fingers dance across the keys. Ultima IX is his expertise. With lightning-fast reflexes and precision, he sets a record with his mission. No F keys to aid his quest, but Sid remains unfazed, undressed.
What?
I'm not sure on that one either. He spares Lord British with respect.
Yeah.
His goal is clear. He won't neglect. Sid's skill is truly a sight to behold as he weaves through the game, bold and cold. Ultima IX may be a daunting feat, but with Sid, victory is always sweet.
Hey.
Thank you very much.
Well done. Wow.
And with that, we will take you into a short intermission. Don't go too far. We've got more fun streams, more games, and more donations coming up after this short break.